You're listening to the Ask Drone U podcast. You ask, we answer your drone questions. Whether you're here to turn your passion into profit or you simply fly for fun, we're a community of learners and teachers who aspire to achieve greatness. We are
Drone U.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of Ask Drone U. My name is not Ron Burgundy.
Oh, I missed that Jeep. Anyways, I'm Rob, and I'm not Ron Burgundy either. So
No, but for context, his last Jeep that he flipped was Burgundy, and I had so dubbed it Ron Burgundy. That's why he's like, I miss having that Jeep.
Yeah,
so
I do.
just for context.
Yes, indeed. Anyways, thank you for being with us today. We very much appreciate it. AskDroneU.com. We've been away for a little while. Second show back after a few weeks away, and we're excited to be back. We need to hear from you. We want to answer your questions, which means we got to get your questions. So go to AskDroneU.com and let us know what's on your mind.
Today we're going to be talking about the Phantom 4 Advanced. Is it still being used by people? Surprisingly, the answer is yes, by large-scale DSPs. Also a great all-around drone. And the other question is going to be about 3D modeling with the Mavic 3 Pro. And will DJI ever give the Mavic Pro automated missions like it does on the Enterprise? And the sad answer is no, DJI enjoys screwing us over. But I mean segregating drone models by features. Wait a minute. Why? Never mind. Anyway, I digress. But it is an interesting time. I hope that through the community we could push DJI into further competing. It makes no sense to me. If you actually think about it, a Phantom 4 Advanced can shoot 4K 60. It can shoot 1080 120, right? But a Mavic 3 Enterprise cannot. Why? Is it technically impossible? No, it's the exact same camera, exact same gimbal, exact same processor as a Mavic 3 Classic, which can shoot 4K 60. So why can't a Mavic 3 Enterprise shoot 4K 60? Why can't a Mavic 3 Pro have automated missions like a Mavic 3 Enterprise? It's all because of money, my friends and relatives. But let's get into today's question, Rob. Why don't you play that funky question while I kill this fly?
Brought to us by
Got him.
the last mapping class of 2023.
Ooh, right before Halloween. If you want to digitize your creepy environments in a way to showcase your 3D modeling skills, then you gotta check out the Drone U mapping class. Available at thedroneu.com for an experience you'll never forget.
Oh boy, what did I do?
Hi there. My name is Mike. I've been watching your podcast for a while on YouTube. I'm a new member at Drone U, and I really just started flying about 2 months ago. I have a Mavic 3 Pro, and I just got a used Phantom 4 Advanced. Just quickly, just wondering on the Phantom 4 Advanced, if it's still a relevant drone in the industry, if people are still using it. I've tried it out and it seems to work pretty good for mapping. I've just been playing around and testing it, but just curious if that's still a go-to drone. And as well, a technical question about that. My feed on that, I'm using an iPhone 13. After about 10 or 20 minutes of use, the feed seems to cut in and out and in and out. I'm just wondering if that's a known problem with these or if I should go to my local drone store. Then also with my Mavic 3 Pro, just wondering your guys' thoughts on it. I've heard you talk a lot about all the other Mavics, but not the Pro. Also wondering if it would be a better drone for the 3D modeling, and if you know if DJI will be supporting any autonomous missions for the Pro, or if it's going to be like all the rest of them, except the Enterprise, where they're just not. Once again, thanks a lot for your time and answering my questions. Can't wait to hear your guys' response. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate the question very, very much. AskDroneU.com is where Mike went to ask his question. Always love hearing from our Canadian brothers and sisters. How do we know? Oh, come on. You heard his accent. I love that.
Well, so sorry. I haven't played a game of Sorry in a long time.
Sorry.
Haven't been to Saskatchewan.
You will someday play Game of Sorry.
But I'd love to go fishing and go check out the walleye. Oh wait, that we have walleye here. But anyway,
Yes, we do.
anyway, I love Colorado. All right, let's knock this out. iPhone 13 overheating, Phantom 4 Advanced.
Wait, he didn't say overheating. I think you might have just given the answer though.
I did.
He was asking how and why. I think you just said that's probably why.
I think I need food because I'm just like, whoop, done. So, yes. So, your feed cutting out on your Phantom 4 Advanced with an iPhone 13. Either your iPhone 13 is getting too hot, which is a very common issue. A lot of people say, "Oh, my phone's not getting too hot." Leave your phone in the sun for 60 seconds. It's gonna get too hot. It's literally that simple. This is something I have to preach about at trainings here all the time. It's like, put your stuff in the shade, put your stuff in the shade, put your stuff in the shade. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes of being in the sun and you're screwed for a long time. So that said, it could also be the imaging sensor getting too hot on the Phantom if it's over 100 degrees outside. I don't think it gets that hot in Canada, but I don't know. So that said, let's get into Mavic 3 Pro. I don't know, Rob, if our caller today understood the brevity of the specificity of his question. Can I still do 3D modeling with my Mavic 3 Pro? If we are talking just about 3D modeling and it's small objects, not like large buildings or arenas or anything like that.
What's a small object? What comes
like
to
a
mind?
house.
Okay.
Like a house. If we're talking about 3D modeling, which means that our acquisition plan is going to be like mostly orbits, or maybe you want to manually fly a double grid very hard if you don't have automation software. Could you do 3D modeling with the Mavic 3 Pro? And the answer is yes. If you're flying orbits only and it's a small object, technically yes, you can do 3D modeling with it. Will DJI ever give it autonomy? I don't think so. If you look at the release notes of the last update, they're very specific that they only support the PSDK through the enterprise drone. It's baffling to me why it is this way. I'm sure there's going to be a hack here soon to be able to get an enterprise remote to work with a Mavic 3 Pro, and then you'd have the automation right there. I would like to see someone like Drone Link or one of these third-party softwares open up the video frame rate feature to allow like a Mavic 3 Enterprise to have high class video frame rates like you see on the Mavic 3 Pro. Can you do 3D modeling with the Mavic 3 Pro? Yes, there's no automation. Don't see DJI doing it anytime soon. They've bifurcated these features from Enterprise to the consumer drones, which brings up what really makes up a professional drone, right? The way that DJI is putting it is that professional drones are enterprise. Professional drones have battery voltage on main screen. So that way, you're going to have a crash before you have one. So that way you can do a battery test or an engine run-up test before the flight to know if it's safe or not. Are those available on consumer drones? No, because they want you to crash. They also have attitude mode on these enterprise drones. Why? If you have a flyaway, you can stop it. If the apps are not working properly, you can stop it. Is that on a consumer drone? No, it's not. So when we talk about professional drones, we talk about enterprise drones, where DJI is saying, if you want to be safe, you want to be efficient, you want to do technical missions because they pay more, and you want to be in full control of your drone and you don't want to be software limited, you have to buy enterprise. But if you buy enterprise, you can't have all these cool video features that we have on our consumer drones. This bifurcation, I don't think will last. I think if drone pilots also start writing emails to DJI, even I tweeted at DJI, how come our enterprise drones now can't do what our enterprise drones 5 years ago could do? And I'm talking about a Phantom 4 Pro. Why do I need two $3,000 drones to do what one $1,500 drone could do? And it all comes down to money. And they could also be in response to what the FTC's letter to DJI that their drones are too cheap. I don't know.
You know the answer
is money.
Is competition. There's no competition.
That is true. Especially with Skydio getting called out on their drones. They're not doing consumer stuff anymore. That takes even more competition away. Unique dead in the water competition away. It's really DJI and Autel, and they're practically run by the same family anyway. So it's not really competition there. You bring up a great point. There is a new company though. There is a new company out there, Aerodrome, I think is what it's called. I found them on LinkedIn. I actually signed up to be a beta tester for them.
That name's not going to stick.
Oh gosh, don't get me started on names right now, Rob. It's going to take us down a rabbit hole we cannot go down.
Okay, let's not then. I'm not asking that we do that.
But you're right, there is limited competition. So to answer this question, the last question, are Phantom 4 Advanced still being used? I think so. We're working for a couple of drone service providers right now doing training, and they're still using Phantoms, mostly Phantoms, because they're more reliable than the new Mavic 3 Enterprises when it comes to these third-party softwares. So the answer is, this answer really kind of ties to other questions like, what's the best drone to have out there? It's the drone that you have with you. The drone that can do technical deliverables plus great video and photos. For me, what is a great drone? Raw photo capacity, shooting AEB, and I can control aperture, okay? High frame rate video, if we really want to get into nuts and bolts, maybe have a built-in ND filter like the Inspire 2, Inspire 3. And then thirdly, it's the technical stuff. It's being able to fly those automated missions, okay? And being able to capture, mapping missions, because that's really where the money is. But to fly good mapping missions and make 3D modeling, you still have to be a very good pilot. So I hope we answered all these questions here. I appreciate the question. If you have a question, ask droneu.com. But pilots, don't be afraid to speak up to DJI and say, hey, how come our enterprise drones, which are supposed to be better than consumer drones, don't have basic features like high frame rate video? It's a very important question. It also makes me wonder, does it fall under that Supreme Court clause that says any product sold in the United States cannot have features taken away from it?
Did it ever have them?
Well,
it's a new product, new SKU.
See, this is where I feel like legal lawyers would get involved, because the Mavic 3 Classic and the Mavic 3 Enterprise are the same piece of equipment. Same camera, same flight controller, same motors, same ESCs.
Yeah, but you know how, it probably takes one little distinction to say it's a completely different product. There's so many little loopholes like that.
That's what I'm saying, is that's why I think lawyers would have to get involved, because honestly, I don't know enough, and I'm not a lawyer, so...
We've been in America long enough. We've been alive long enough to know that's how it would go.
Amen, brother.
I mean,
amen,
it's
brother.
not rocket science.
Amen, brother. I just saw.
But yeah, the lawyers love that you're saying that they'd have to get involved. They appreciate that very much.
You're welcome, sunshine. This whole, that little argument about like why you technically need a lawyer for all these things kind of reminds me of surveyors sometimes.
Oh,
because AI is doing things that lawyers won't do because it's not lucrative enough, or they can't handle the volume. I mean, seriously. So it's happening all the time. The AI is doing stuff that lawyers would traditionally do, and there's no party to sue. And that it's a robot.
Yeah, they'll find somebody. They'll find somebody to sue.
On that bombshell, if you have a question, ask droneu.com. Thank you to everyone who is a DroneU member and supports us. If you want access to the largest library of classes on the internet, don't wait long, because we're changing our model here very soon.
We might be.
If you want access to those 47 classes that include our newest courses that we've done this year, like cell phone tower inspections, advanced aerial videography, and the new Don't Crash courses on the new drones that have been coming out.
And a brand new real estate class that's being worked on. It's not out yet.
That is true. That should be done fairly soon, actually.
An update. I'm excited about.
I am too. With that said, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you want to get the most out of your drone, if you want to turn that passion into profit, if you want to learn from experienced people who are going to give you the tips and tricks that, frankly, you can't find anywhere else because those people don't fly, then you've got to become a member at thedroneu.com. And it's only for serious people, by the way, because if you want to have serious confidence to master flight, that's why you become a DroneU member, because you want to go to the Top Gun school of drones, thedroneu.com.